man, tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, and the pastor. This is the Magic Man, the tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, coming at you early in the morning. I just woke up, man, trying to get it together here. Okay, people, let me before I get to the title of the video and that the match of the year, the biggest match of the year will be, man, we hope that happens. Man, that'll be something else. I would love to preview that match. Would be Nadal versus Djokovic in this year's French Open final. That would be the biggest match. It would have the biggest implications of the year, because if Nadal wins that, he goes to 18. That's from the Nadal side, and he keeps doing what he's doing, and he sort of slows the Djokovic dominance down. But it's from Djokovic's side, people. If Djokovic beats Nadal in this year's French Open final, that means that Djokovic, for the second time, will have held all 4 titles for the second time. That's never been done. Okay, definitely not in the Open era. And it would mean that Djokovic will have probably become the most all-around player on surfaces of all time, because then he will have dethroned the king of clay, Nadal. And man, that's gonna be something else, people. I'm telling you, and there's a lot of other implications with that. One Djokovic fan already said, and and that's what I want to talk about too, because I got some videos coming on that. One Djokovic fan has already said, if Djokovic holds all 4 titles once again, that Djokovic is the GOAT. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that, but I'm just saying that's not crazy to throw out that conversation. It's not crazy to believe that, but it's not crazy to throw out the conversation. And you know, of course, the Magic Man, the tennis prophet, is more than happy to jump into that conversation, indulge into the conversation, okay? Let me say this quickly, people, then I'm going to get back to this whole possible matchup of Djokovic versus Nadal in the French Open final, okay? And just what all that means, okay? People, let me just say something about the Australian Open final for the men and the women's, because a lot of people took in made requests and said, Magic Man, why don't you do a post-analysis of Naomi Osaka beating Kvitova, and also why don't you do a post-analysis of Djokovic beating Nadal? Hey, people, listen, it's already done. Because, people, listen, let me just say something. For the first time, I may have done it in maybe one video. Okay, people, I've got like predictions right. I've got analysis right. But people, my previews for both the women's final, Osaka versus Kvitova, the men's final, Djokovic versus Nadal, people, if you read my previews, if you watch the previews, my previews for probably the first time was so accurate that was also the post-analysis. In other words, people, I almost felt the preview of the Osaka versus Kvitova, it was so accurate that where I said Osaka, she needs to overcome the pressure. I think she's going to feel some pressure, but she's going to pull through. That's what happened. Osaka almost collapsed, but she pulled through. So I didn't need to do a post-analysis. The preview was, so y'all understand what I'm saying? The preview of both of these matches, men and women's final, my preview was so accurate, it almost would ruin it if I did a post-analysis. The preview was a post-analysis. And same thing with Nadal versus Djokovic. I said if Djokovic brings the God mode, he gonna beat Nadal. The God mode. Now, I didn't think it'll be this bad. I didn't think he would beat Nadal quite that bad. But that pretty well, if you listen to that preview, in other words, if you, let's say after Djokovic beat Nadal, and I'm pretty sure there's some viewers that did that. They ran across the Tennis Profit preview of the match, and they probably listened to my preview thinking, oh, he needs to do a post analysis. But probably after they listened to the preview, they was probably, wow, this guy was right. He said if Djokovic bring the God mode, that's it, it's lights out. Okay, so pretty well my point is the previews of both the men and the women final was so accurate that I didn't need to do a post analysis, okay? And I hope everybody's sort of satisfied with that. Now let me get back to this possible matchup between Nadal versus Djokovic in the French Open final. Now people, check this out here. Now I should have let me just say this here. People, if Djokovic wins that, if Djokovic, especially if he beats Nadal's straight sets, you know, of course Nadal gonna be favored in that, but Djokovic has shown he can beat Nadal on clay. He has crushed Nadal in some Master Series on clay. Especially go look at the 2013 Monte Carlo. That was almost pretty well as bad as this Australian Open final. You know, so the Djokovic is a big threat, a huge threat to Nadal in the French Open final, on the French Open surface, period. Okay, but now let me just say this, people. If Djokovic wins that, we know not just from the Djokovic fans, there are going to be fans saying that Djokovic is the GOAT. Okay, and so I want to talk about that because people, I take this GOAT debate very seriously. I'm not the kind that just going to give you the GOAT thing, but I will give it to you if it's fair. And I don't want to take anything away from Nadal and Federer with all their greatness and their contributions they have done. Okay, now people, I got a video. Well, people, it's probably going to be a couple videos, however long it takes. It may be a GOAT video, a special edition or something like that. I'm gonna start on it today. Now people, there was a subscriber, I guess he was a subscriber, but at least he was viewing my videos back when I started my channel in say mid 2017. There was a subscriber named Paul Mussington, and he took and made a great suggestion about something. He said that we should, like, to determine, like, who's the GOAT. Oh, okay. He said that we need to rank how much an achievement is worth. For example, he said that, and I agree with this, but I never got around to doing it. He said, for example, you should make maybe and I even agree with the formula he gave. In other words, he said there should be a formula for determining, like, at least where to put the people that's in the GOAT debate or GOAT discussion. Okay, for example, let's say he said that a major should be worth 2 points, okay? And a ATP finale, if you win the ATP finale, some of this makes sense though, should be worth 1.5 points. For example, a major is worth 2,000 points, ATP finale is worth 1,500 points, so that sort of makes sense. He said a Master Series should be worth 1 point. A 500 tournament should be worth 0.5 points. And a 250 tournament should be worth 2.5 points. Okay, so now that sounds pretty straightforward, and I agree with that. Now, this is where it gets complicated, and this is where this Djokovic thing comes in, man. Where Djokovic fans are saying Djokovic is the GOAT. We don't forget Federer and Nadal. This is the real GOAT. People, listen. Djokovic got, if you go to Wikipedia, Djokovic got achievements that even, I'm talking about huge achievements, that even Federer and Nadal do not have, okay? Things like he's held not just all 4 titles at one time. The Djokovic held all 5, including the ATP finale, meaning he won, like, the Wimbledon, let me just try to do it right, the Wimbledon, the US Open, the ATP finale, the Australian Open, and then the 2016 French Open. That's all 5, not just all 4. And now if he win the French Open, that'll be, he's done it again, not all 5, because he lost against Zverev in the ATP finale, but it will be all 4 again. Okay, so you may be saying, okay, Magic Man, we understand the thing and we agree. Most people are going to agree with that. That makes sense, letting a major count for 2 points and letting the ATP finale count for 1.5. But now here's my point, people. How do you rank like these super achievements? Now Nadal and Federer got some super achievements, but Djokovic, he got more. In other words, now some people are going to say, well, no, Magic Man. Now listen, there are Nadal fans, Federer fans, even Djokovic fans say this. Most tennis fans say, no, Magic Man, it's about the majors. It's about how many majors you got. So, because a Federer fan told me this on the court. He said, no, in order for somebody to be greater than Federer, they got to get more than 20 majors. No, people. I'm going to tell you right now why that's not true. Okay, it's true somewhat. If the person doesn't have, listen, if you got 15 majors, but your other achievements are not greater than Federer's achievements, of course you shouldn't be greater than Federer. But a Djokovic, if Djokovic got 17 majors, let's say he won 2 more majors this year, does he have enough extra stuff that if we added that up, it makes up for the 3 majors that he doesn't have? Okay, people, I agree that you can be greater than a player who has more majors than you if you have what you call enough super achievements that he doesn't have. Let me give you an example. Now, for all those people that think that having the most majors make you the GOAT. Now listen, people, I do have Federer as arguably the GOAT right now. I got Federer #1. That Rod Laver, though, I try to convince y'all how great Rod Laver is, but that's another discussion. I'm going to bring that Rod Laver stuff up, because Rod Laver sort of got what Djokovic got. Djokovic is sort of doing it the way Rod Laver did it, but y'all didn't want to listen to me when I told y'all how great Rod Laver was, that I'm not even sure Federer is greater than Rod Laver. I think it's like even, but nobody will listen to that, but that's another video. Okay, let me get back to this thing about that. First of all, I am going to make out a formula for how to determine the GOAT, and I'm going to give a certain number of points to different for certain achievements such as slams, Master Series, ATP finales, how many years you were #1. But I want to get back to that thing. Those people, I want to convince those people who say that you got to get more than 20 majors to be greater than Federer. I'm going to show you that not necessarily. Watch this here. I'm finna bust y'all open right now. Let's suppose one guy has 20 majors like Federer, and he's #1. He was #1 for 2 consecutive years. He got 3 ATP finales, okay, and he got 25 Master Series, okay. Let's say another guy, player B, he got only 17 majors, but he was #1 for 6 consecutive years, not 2 consecutive, the way the guy with 20 majors was. This guy that got only 15 majors, he got 35 Master Series, not 25, the way the guy who has 20 majors have. And the guy who got 15 majors got 7 ATP finales, not 3. Not 3, the way the guy who got 20 slams got. People, I can tell you, and no, let me add this in. I got to bust you up now. Let's say the guy who got 15 majors, let's say he won the Grand Slam twice. Not just hold all 4 titles twice. Let's say he win all 4 majors in the same year twice and back-to-back. Don't tell me the guy who got 15 majors is greater than the guy with 20 majors. I don't want to hear. So I just show you. So that's why. Now, I'm not saying Djokovic is greater than Federer yet, but Djokovic, he may become greater than Federer before winning 20. Okay? Because he got other achievements, man. Listen, Djokovic got stuff. You go to Wikipedia, even the thing about number one, Djokovic is the only player, when he became number one, he won more ATP points. He won he won over 16,000 points when he was number one. Even though Federer got more weeks, the Djokovic won more points, I mean he won more tournaments. The Djokovic got more Master Series than Federer. Why? And Federer been playing longer. So I'm just saying, we'll wait on it. We'll wait. The Djokovic doesn't necessarily, if his other achievements if his other achievements make up for the lack of slams that he doesn't have versus Federer, he can become the GOAT over Federer, okay? And but what I need to do is go back and be fair to Federer right now, all Federer's achievements. And also Federer, somebody would say, well, Magic Man, you got to give Federer credit too. He may have things that Djokovic doesn't have. So I will add that up. And so I'm going to match it up, and I'm going to put it on the screen. That's the most important thing. I'm going to put Djokovic's achievements versus Federer's achievements on the screen and rank it with points and see who has the most points. I think Federer still barely gets them right now. Probably. But, hey, Djokovic may have Nadal now. But let me make out the formula first, people. Okay, people? But yeah, the match of the year would be Djokovic versus Federer in the French Open final. Wow, that'll be something else. Okay, people? Tennis preacher, prophet, psychic, signing off. Have a good one. Magic Man, tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, and the pastor.